Good morning, everyone. I am trying to there we are, full screen that, come back here to this. Welcome. Thank you for joining our town hall today. No one better than the Queen of Soul to usher us from Black History Month into Women's History Month. And I want to say, I once had the privilege, I'm going to do a little name drop in here. I lived in the Detroit area and I was at a Detroit Pistons game the night they were retiring Isaiah Thomas's number. And guess who was there? I didn't even know this, but right before the game started, they wheel an organ out onto the center of the court and a whole bunch of doo-wop guys and ladies come out there. Aretha Franklin came out and man, oh man, I have never heard before or since the national anthem sung in such an amazing way. I picked up my bags after she got done and they were like, where are you going? I said, dude, I'm going home. My night has been made. It was amazing. It was amazing. But of course, there's a big show. Anyway, it's women like that, ladies, who paved the way for us to be able to be as powerful and influential as we are in the world today. She stepped out at a time when it wasn't easy to step out as a woman, certainly as an African-American woman. And I'm grateful for women like her who had courage, moxie, and grit. And I want to share my encouragement to my sisters in the room today. You know, Madeleine Albright was another tough lady who did a lot of wonderful things. And this was what she had to say about women working with women. She said it's a negative encouragement, but I'm going to tell you what she said. She said, there's a special place in hell for women who don't help other women. And I want to say, we're here on this campus to make a special place of heaven. Look around you. Let's look at the sisters that we work with. Let's look at the female students walking around this campus and let's show them what it's like to be a strong, successful, powerful, collaborative, supportive women. Thank you for joining. And to my brothers in the room, you're part of that. You're honorary sisters today. There you go. All right. So thank you all for making time. I know it's difficult to make time for meetings like this. We're trying to do this a little bit differently. The last couple of times we had presidents' town halls, they were more in the presentation format where you could only see the big heads of the people talking. And I don't want to look at my own big head, so I don't blame you for not wanting to look at it for too long of a time. I like it when we can see everyone together. What that does do, though, is it kind of opens the opportunity for other ways for us to interact. And so we're going to have a few brief presentations today from the executive team because there's a lot of things that have been going on. And I want all of you to be able to hear what's happening on different parts of campus. We're going to make use of the chat box. I want everybody to open the chat right now. And we're going to practice using the chat box. We're going to do what is called a chatterfall. Some of you may know what a chatterfall is, but I want you to type one word, how you're feeling right now at this moment. You can be as honest as you want to be. There's no grades being given. Type it in. Don't hit send yet. Oh, they're hitting send. Okay, Marcus, I go. Everybody hit send. We have excited, optimistic, busy, frustrated, tired, snarky. I appreciate that. My inner snark is glad to find a companion. As you're going through there, I encourage everybody to find somebody who's tired, busy, frustrated, whatever. Send a note of encouragement, right? We're doing our 52 Things project. It might be an easy way to take care of your thing for this week. It's already Wednesday. If you haven't been nice yet, you can take care of your 52 things. This is one way we can support each other. So thank you all for being here. When it comes time for question and answers, you see down at the bottom, there's reactions and there's the ability to chat. When the reactions tab, when you hit that, there's a bar at the bottom that says raise hand. You can raise your hand or you can type your question. Some people don't like to say it out loud. You can type your question in the chat when it comes time. Also, all of us will sort of be monitoring the chat as others are speaking. So if you have a question, you want to write it before you forget it, go ahead and use that feature as well. All right, so I know I don't want to treat everybody like this is the first time you've used Zoom, but sometimes they change and upgrade and update and all that stuff. And it's easy to lose the things that you're familiar with. So want to welcome everybody again. Thank you for your time and just let you know we've had some wonderful things happening on campus. There's a lot of exciting projects going forward. I'm going to give the team a chance to share first, and then before closing comments or at closing comments, after we have Q&A, anything that hasn't been touched on, I'll kind of fill in the gaps. So let's go ahead and team, I don't have my list in front of me, so I'm just going to call on folks. Shami, why don't you go first?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's well. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. There's a lot of stuff happening on campus. On the east side, you guys all have seen our brand new, beautiful student services building. That building, it looks fantastic. We had tours last night for the local school board officials. Everyone loved it. You know, if you haven't seen that building at night, drive by. It's really something that's remarkable. We should all be so proud of that. But along with that building, there's an impact to the campus and the community. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about that. ASO, first year experience, second year experience are still in the T700s. They'll be moving into, and forgive me, Jennifer, for saying this, the old learning center, okay? Because I don't know if we have an official name. It's called the hub. I didn't know if it was official. They'll be moving into the hub, okay. Equity and Emoja will also be moving there. So those are two moves that are still remaining. And then Jill and some of the basic needs staff and services will be moving into the T100. So those are some of the moves that still have yet to occur. You guys have probably seen the old student services building is fenced off. Demolition is commencing internally in that building. That building is scheduled to be demolished within the next few weeks. Okay. Beyond that, right after that, I mean, Cedar Hall construction is going to start and things will start progressing quickly from there. The gym renovation is also underway. We have a mandatory job walk for bidders on Friday. So we're starting that process. So we'll have that project underway shortly here. And then finally, planning and programming, final programming discussions and plans are with the architects for the commons. So the campus is aware that the commons will be built. We needed to make some modifications because the programming for that building hadn't been done. I think maybe it was done 4 years ago or so, maybe a little bit longer. 6 years ago. Thank you, Jennifer. So we had to make some modifications there. It's with the architects and we're waiting for new renderings there. As soon as that's finalized and it's out of DSA, we will commence on that. And then with those 3 projects, we will wrap up Measure AV. In the month of March, we do hope to get some positive feedback on our housing grant application. So stay tuned for that. We are anxiously awaiting that, and that'll be awesome if that comes through.
When?
Beyond that, that's enough for facilities, I think, for now. Fiscal services, I want to give you guys a quick update here. Governor released the January proposed in January. We've gotten some feedback that January and February revenues have come up a little short than what the governor was estimating. So we expect the May revise to have an impact and not be quite as rosy as they were projecting, as the state was projecting in January. So we are going to be looking at that and waiting for that, but budget development will start prior to that. So budget development meetings with department heads and fund managers will commence towards the end of March. Okay, but we are going to proceed with January proposed estimates, but we are well aware that revenues will be shy of what the governor was estimating or projecting there. And then for IT, we plan to recruit for the executive director of IT position. We plan to send that HR1 form to HR next week to start that recruitment process. So all teams are busy. They're all doing fabulous, great work, and we're very proud of them. So any questions? Yes.
Thank you, Shami. When we talked about the hub, there was some of us who were at ACA last week, and Michelle and Ashley Hawkins, they came up with an acronym, and HUB stands for Humanity, Unity, Belonging. And if that isn't part of serving students and being kind, I don't know what is. So see, it's all coming together. Great
Very
name,
good.
good purpose.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Shami. Bridget.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, President Zillette, for the wonderful warm-up introduction. That was exciting and fun to watch. The Queen of Soul working it out many years ago. So thank you for that. Good morning or almost afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to provide a little bit of an update with regard to negotiations and a couple of cases that have been pending here at the college. As it relates to the faculty negotiations and classified, we've been in negotiations. We sunshined last year. We started negotiations and then took there was a hiatus over the summer as well as over the winter break. But both teams have been working very hard. We recently developed a schedule to carry us through the end of the semester, but we intend or hope to have all negotiations settled before the end of this spring semester. We've reached tentative agreements on some items that will be taken to the board when we complete negotiations for the entire contract. We have a lot of areas that we have to work on before we get to that exciting stuff that I know that everyone's concerned about, which are salary and benefits, but we have to get the underlying things resolved and taken care of before we finalize anything with regard to salary and benefits or total compensation. Just an update on the classified PERB matter that is predates me. It's been going on for about 9 years for those of you who've been around, and we're at the finish line. We are coming to agreement with the Classified Federation on the affected people and how we will process and manage complying with the order from the PERB with regard to the work hours that employees were assigned. I know that there are a number of people who recently have been working with their supervisors and received schedule changes. And as part of our negotiations, we're looking at Article 11.2, which pertains to the work week and schedule changes to make sure that employees are afforded the opportunity to revise and modify their schedule on temporary basis, as well as make sure that we can serve the students of the college, because that's essentially what we're all here for. With regard to the faculty, there was also a PERB matter where there was a tentative decision regarding the calendar, the elimination of intersession a couple of years ago. And last Thursday, there was a final decision that came down, and we will be working, the administration will be working with the Faculty Federation to determine the best way to proceed to implement that order and the types of the options that we have in order to address our calendar going forward in the future. And so those are the updates that I have. And I hope the next time that we have a town hall meeting, I'm able to announce that we've come to agreement with at least one, or if not both, of the faculty and staff or classified federation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bridget. And Rashida, I'd like to invite you to speak now about an exciting rollout that we're doing campus-wide.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for allowing me to share with everyone today. So beginning March 10th, all AVC students will be migrated to EduNav, our new online registration system. EduNav was previously only available to new students. Now it will be available to all AVC students. EduNav is a planning tool that keeps students focused on their pathway to completion. So it serves as an interactive roadmap to completion. Students register through My AVC using the registration function. We encourage anyone who works with students, any students who have units from other colleges, students who have AP scores, and also students who plan to transfer, which is a lot of our students, encourage those students to see a counselor so that they can make sure that they're on the right path to completion. Students who need help registering can go to the Welcome Center. Also, First Year Experience, or FYE, will be hosting a number of registration workshops for students as well. So please look out for that information from marketing. You will see it on our screens and across campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashida. We're excited about this. This is going to provide a lot of organizational opportunity for the campus, how we serve students, how we make sure that what we're doing is best for students, and how we're operationally really streamlining. So thank you for this really massive undertaking. Thank you to everyone in student services who have been really sprinting to stand still to make this happen. So thank you, folks. Next, we'd like to hear from Howard.
Good morning. So a lot of exciting things happening in academic affairs in support of our desire to make our courses accessible. The Board of Trustees extended and expanded a contract with UJU Panorama, which is an accessibility software. Faculty you may have seen recently in the last couple of weeks, yellow or green, hopefully not any red gauges on your Canvas sites, and that is UJU Panorama. It's embedded in all our Canvas, and it is to assist faculty in identifying areas where they may need greater accessibility, and it also provides avenues to get to that accessibility. So it's an exciting software that's going to definitely benefit students. Our IT folks, Greg gave a training last Friday on the Panorama use. There are additional trainings upcoming. For this Friday, there's a training at 2 p.m., March 16th and April 4th. Also trainings on Panorama use. Although it is in your Canvas now, and it's relatively user-friendly, so you could start to use it even without the trainings. Additionally, the college is using her funds to upgrade our online instruction. We are incentivizing faculty to go through POCR, which stands for Peer Online Course Review, and it really is the gold standard for online instruction in our state. We have 12 reviewers right now, so if you're interested in that, Alex has sent out some communication and more will be forthcoming. There's a generous compensation package for faculty doing that, and also for reviewers. And again, that will really upgrade the level of our online instruction at the college. So we encourage you to take part in that. Secondly, we're also using her funds to compensate faculty for converting their courses to zero textbook cost. Catherine Mitchell is leading that effort, and I saw an email went out yesterday, and I believe today is the deadline, just to let them know that you are going to pursue that. You don't need to do anything right now. Just let them know that you're interested by end of business today, and we'll get you on that ZTC docket. It's now hiring season, full-time faculty hiring season. We have 17 full-time positions that we are hiring that went through our process and approved by the president. So we're excited to partner with Human Resources and the Academic Senate on a little bit of a variance of our normal process. And I think Victoria probably will speak on that, so I won't steal her thunder. And again, what a great way to just bring a new breadth of ideas and perspectives and energy to the campus. 17 new full-time faculty members, really exciting. Speaking of hiring, we have 2 academic dean positions flying now. As most of you probably know, Dean Christos Valiotos is retreating to faculty. So our Dean of Math, Science, and Engineering position is flying now. Our Dean of Workforce Development and Community Engagement is flying. Many of you know Kathy Hart retired several months ago. And Van Ryder has stepped in and is doing that interim dean position. Now those positions are up and flying, and I'm not sure of the deadlines, but they're coming up. And the Vice President of Academic Affairs position is flying with the first review March 24th. So we're very excited to work with our terrific HR folks. This is a huge monumental task. And so we really appreciate their assistance in bringing in great folks to our Antelope Valley community. Other notes, Interim Dean Van Ryder's working to get our makerspace up and running in the Palmdale Center, partnering with Air Force. So we're making progress on that. We're excited for future announcements to tell you when we're going to have a grand opening for that. The Academic Policies and Procedures Committee has been discussing some changes, over a long period of time. And we voted, and it's going through the process now, but we're hoping to add a standing tri-chair, which would be our articulation officer. We think this has great potential for assisting our curriculum in an early stage. Secondly, we're creating a discipline update schedule, an annual schedule, as well as a 5-year schedule, again, to kind of smooth out our operations with the curriculum committee. And lastly, but certainly not least, we are streamlining our approval process for non-credit curriculum. So that's it in a nutshell for academic affairs. I hope I wasn't as boring as Shami, but thank you.
That's funny. Thank you, curriculum committee. Great work being done. There's a lot going on there that really the institution and our students primarily will reap the benefit from. So thank you for that. Victoria.
Thank you. First of all, very hearty. It's a pleasure to meet most of you virtually. I've had a wonderful opportunity to talk to many of you, but I see many participants on the town hall. And I wanted to let you know I'm the interim vice president of human resources. I did want to say that when I began in December, I conducted a series of introductory meetings to talk about what's working well and what are some areas that we might need enhancement or assistance with. And as a result of those meetings, the overwhelming comments and feedback included how can we look at our recruitment process and look at enhancements, improvements, and in a nutshell, shorten the time to hire, while at the same time trying to attract and ultimately hire diverse candidates. So with that, and I'm going to share the thunder with Howard. I don't look at it as unintentionally taking it. I think it's really exciting because through some of these meetings, I was able to circle back and talk to Senate exec and then the Senate, as well as leadership from AVC FT and AVC CET, as well as some of our administrators about what I call pinch points in the recruitment process. Based on those conversations, we have made some changes in our recruitment processes overall, but the ultimate goal is to really look at what do we do with AP 7120 and how do we rewrite it. This is my interactive segment of this portion of the town hall. In the chat, I will buy somebody a cup of coffee if you are the first one without looking to list the number of pages in our current AP that involve recruitment and hiring. And I will check those answers in a moment. But I wanted to go back to what Howard said, that we are so excited to be partnering with the Academic Senate as well as AVC FT in looking at how we are going to potentially pilot some processes for this spring round of faculty hires. We do have 17 disciplines we are hiring and 18 full-time faculty positions within those. As part of that, many of you may know that when we embark on faculty hiring season, those become the primary focus. And while all recruitments are important, we are going to spend a lot of time and focus as well as energy on those particular recruitments so that we can ensure we have the full-time faculty hired for the fall semester. With that, I do want to note that as part of the overall process, we want to look at how we involve all of us as stakeholders again in rewriting the AP, as well as bringing good, solid talent acquisition / recruitment processes into AVC. So if you think about current experiences, I would ask you, let me know your thoughts, because I think this is one that we really want to ensure as we move forward. We're not only honoring what we do with our talent acquisition and recruitment, but also create an AP that is going to assist us with diversity, equity, inclusion, and access, and ultimately attract, retain, and motivate highly experienced and very competent employees overall. So with that, I just ask for a tiny bit of patience because we are dealing with the backlog. I do want to let you know Human Resources is going to have one of our team members working out of class to assist with the recruitment volume that we are experiencing. And we are currently in the process of recruiting for an additional HR technician who will, in the beginning, assist with recruitment till we can get those backlogs of recruitments to a manageable level. The second big endeavor we're looking at is looking to ensure that all employees are understanding how we can promote as a collective community a discrimination-free environment. And through that, we have begun the process through the College Coordinating Council to review the 10 board policies and administrative procedures specifically dealing with equal employment opportunity. And how we address allegations and investigations associated with discrimination or harassment. Many of you may know that there were significant revisions to Title V that occurred in October of 22. So through your stakeholder groups, you will most likely see copies of the BPs and APs that have come through College Coordinating Council. A few that we were lacking were the Title IX board policy and administrative procedures. Again, for those of you that may or may not know, Title IX was substantially revised in the summer of 2021. And so those policies and procedures will ensure that we have appropriate and compliant Title IX processes in place, along with the enhancements of those BPs and APs. We will also create what I would call a training plan to not only educate everybody about what those changes are, but then also offer online and potentially in-person training to ensure that we can all join together to make sure that we have a discrimination-free environment, both for our students and our staff. And I'm going to go check the chat and then I'll see who won the cup of coffee. So thank you so much.
So Victoria, the answers range from -2 to 1,584.
Okay, the answer, oh, I see 575. The answer is 24 pages. So let's see, Diane, you're closest so far. Oh, no, Riley got it right.
Riley got it right on the money.
Woo! Riley, I owe you a cup of coffee.
There you go. Well, there you have it.
Man, missed it by one. And to Riley, that's all right. Great competitor.
You can have the cup when she's done, Diane.
There you go.
Okay, so Mita, do you have
Thank
anything you'd
you.
like to share? Yes.
I'm here to talk about Caring Campus, a new initiative for the college, and how it came about. How we got involved was the planning consultants working with us over the past year or so, had conversations with our employees and suggested a need for us to be more connected with our students and with one another. And so he put us in touch with the Institute for Evidence-Based Change, IEBC, and we applied and we got it and we implemented it. We're implementing it right now with Classified, and there's a faculty version that we will likely start in the fall. And it's a really great initiative. It'll help drive our culture change. We have a good culture, but we could improve how we are with our students. So that's going on. Classified are leading it, Classified staff, and they volunteered to participate, and it's cross-functional, college-wide folks that are working on this. And what they're doing right now is coming up with an implementation plan. They presented a draft of it to leadership on January 31st, and they're going to flesh it out, during the next few months, and then there'll be a college-wide kickoff on opening day. And you'll hear more about it before then and definitely then. So thank you.
Thank you, Mita. Diane, is there anything from the foundation?
Absolutely. So we're all about we're all about students. We're in the middle of the scholarship season, and we've got lots of about 80 or so community and college reviewers of our scholarships. The plan is to award about 279, 280, a little bit give or take or two, a little bit more, for about $225,000 plus here by the end of March. And then that culminates in a meet and greet ceremony and breakfast where the donor and the student meet each other, or multiple students and multiple donors, over at the Hellenic Center. So we anticipate about 300 attendees to that on April 21st. And then those of you who like to party, whether you drink wine, beer, or non-alcoholic, and like to eat good food, buy a little bit of good items, listen to some good music, this year our annual wine walk is on April 29th. 5:30 p.m. in the new Student Services Building. So it will be inside this year. We won't be freezing or hot or windblown. So buy your tickets often. We're here to help that student population. The money that is raised there goes to the Antelope Valley Students Community Endowment, which really funds the grant program for faculty. So I look forward to seeing you there. Tickets sell fast. Our sponsorships are coming in very quickly. So we only have about a limited number of about 250 people. So buy often. Thanks. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you for all the good work there. Alejandro, is there something you would like to share from marketing and communication?
Yes, I was looking out my window. It was just snowing a minute ago, so that was really nice.
Okay.
It's Wednesday, it's hump day, and I got to tell you, on my way in, and the reason I answered good in your first question about how we felt is thanks to my team. I was driving and I was really tired today, and I was feeling a little sluggish on the way in. But my first meeting was with the marketing communications team. And after that meeting, I walked out of there energized and enthusiastic. And so I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my team because they really got me pumped up and excited about all the stuff that we've got in front of us. So with that, I just want to let you know our team is constantly looking for ways to improve our communications and even delight our audiences through web, email, social media. I do want to, as we continue to kind of improve some things that we do, I want to let you know when you're working with our team, if they're pushing you when they're trying to get the what, the when, the where, and the how, and they're trying to meet their deadlines, please work with them. Our goal in marketing communications is to get it right and get it out on time in that order. So first, we always have to get it right before we can get that out on time. So just wanted to kind of throw that plug in there for the team. With that, I did want to provide an update. We're finalizing our contract with Vision Point, which is going to be our marketing agency, which is going to be creating a strategy and handling our digital media buys. So we're close to finalizing our contract, and I'm hoping to be up and running in the next couple of weeks. Some of the things that we're looking to do, some of our goals with this paid media campaign are to promote the fact that we're an online teaching campus, highlighting our CTE programs, highlighting all the resources and the support that we provide for students in need, so that if any of these obstacles in terms of basic needs are getting in the way of them enrolling full time, we want to make sure that we're communicating to them that this college is ready to meet those needs. And then we're also going to be positioning our Palmdale Center for Success. I met with Keita and with Van a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about some of the challenges they're facing. And so we're definitely going to be giving them some attention and some love through our own campus channels, and then as well through some paid media channels. So hopefully, once we get up and running with our campaign, you're going to see billboards out in the community, bus ads, buses wrapped with our branding, and then on your social media channels or on your mobile apps running into advertising for the college. Very targeted messaging, seeking out very specific audiences to get our name out far and wide and promote the college and hopefully boost our enrollment at the same time. Let's see. You might have noticed that we redesigned the campus update, our weekly e-newsletter. So just wanted to give a shout out to Rich, Desiree, Pam, Denise, and Nancy. The team was brainstorming on this for a few weeks, examining best practices from other colleges and universities, looking at the most effective newsletters, award-winning newsletters. And so I think they did a great job, and it came out really good. You'll see that it's a lot cleaner, the look and feel. It's also leaner, and we're trying to focus on the events that are coming up. So just a lot more focus. So if you haven't had a chance to check out the weekly e-news, please do so. I also wanted to mention that our Achieving the Dream press release was published in the AV Press. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, that was like a week and a half ago, but it was really great. They have the picture of our leadership in Chicago at the Dream convening, and they ran all the good details that we provided for them, the quotes from our president. And so, just check it out. It's a real big success for our institution. And then finally, just wanted to let you know to expect, we will be sending out an invitation very soon for the Student Services grand opening, which will be taking place on Monday, April 10th at 10 a.m. So keep an eye out for that invitation. And that's it.
Thank you, Alejandro. Last but not least, Wendy, do you have any updates from your area?
Good morning, everybody. I would just, in case you're not quite sure what I do, I am the internal auditor on campus, and I am here to support you in achieving your objectives within your area of operations. And I know many of you are struggling with staff shortages. And if there is a process that is just making you feel a little uncomfortable, and you want to maybe just discuss that with me and help you just identify where maybe you could add a little bit more comfort to your thoughts throughout the day and as you sleep at night, and where we might be able to add additional controls, I can have some conversations with you to help identify those risk areas and maybe put some procedures in place for you. I do have a pretty packed internal audit plan, but as if we had a 30-hour conversation, I might be able to help you just know where just overall we might be able to strengthen controls. So just give me a call or stop by.
Thank you, Wendy. As you all can tell, so much is happening in a lot of different spaces. I want to leave some time for questions. So I'm going to give you a lightning round of what we're waiting on and what has been happening in the last few months. We have submitted and are waiting on an answer for our housing grant. And last year, the first answers came in March, and then they finalized their list later in the summer, but no one was removed from that first list. So I'm hoping we make the early cut, and I'm hoping we hear very soon that Antelope Valley College is one of the selected people to build a student housing project. I can tell you this, I've done some snooping around at other institutions who have submitted applications, and I know of one whose project is a third of the beds and about $20 million more for their project. So I feel like that puts us in a pretty good position for being selected, because we have a very cost-efficient project and we are in a high need area. So student housing. 2, we've made application for a second baccalaureate, and we're about, Mita as ALO is about to submit the sub change for ACCJC. We'll get that done, and we should be hearing about that soon. So we would then be one of the very few of the 116 colleges who offer 2 baccalaureates, not just 1. 3, you heard about Achieving the Dream. I am so incredibly excited about this. And Amita and her team, I want to thank them, because while they were finalizing the ICER for submission to ACCJC in December, they also put together a lot of data about the college, and we submitted an application to Achieving the Dream. There are 10 colleges throughout the nation, 10 throughout the nation. And Antelope Valley College is one who was chosen to participate in the next cohort. And the project over the next 3 years is called Creating Equitable Outcomes. And they were looking for colleges just like us, who the majority of our students are students who are typically our systems create dependent people, because we disservice them all along their educational journey. And we fit into their profile very well, and we're poised to make some big gains and successes in this area. This is not additional work. This is what I love about this. This 3-year scope dovetails perfectly with all that we're trying to do with our equity plan, which was just passed by the board last month, and also with our guided pathways plan, because it hits all 4 pillars, right? Clarifying the path, getting them on the path, keeping them on the path, and then getting them out, right? All of those things are perfect for this. And so all of these plans are going to dovetail together and provide us with some real clear direction over the next 3 years, how we can streamline our institution and remove barriers for students. So I want to thank Dean Goel, Dean Brown-Elise, and Dean Dwyer for making the Herculean trek to Chicago in February. Trust me, it was cold, and who thought that was a good idea? I don't know. I think it's because the hotels were cheap. It's like, you know, Phoenix in August, dirt cheap hotels. But anyway, it was wonderful. The photo that's in the paper is us with the CEO of Achieving the Dream. And I'm over the moon about this. We're going to get coaching. There's going to be a lot of real hands-on learning for us as an institution. And I know that this is the work that we are really desirous of accomplishing, because at the end of the day, what that means is our students are getting exactly what they want from us, which is an education and opportunity. So all of those things are happening. On top of that, we're continuing with our build. Again, I want to reiterate, April 10th at 10 a.m., we will be opening up. Well, we've already opened up and we're living in it. And I hope the student services folks who are in the new building are enjoying it, but we will be celebrating our new building on that day. So be patient with us as we continue to open up one, tear down another. The destructive points keep moving around campus, but it's like spring cleaning your closet. You've got to throw all the crud out into your floor of your bedroom or your living room or wherever the closet is, right? It gets messy before it gets really, really pretty. So we have some really pretty stuff, and next to it, it's going to get messy for a while. Be patient and let us know how we can help. If there are things that you notice that we need to fix along the way, if there's signage that would help, anything like that, please let us know. We want to make things as easy as possible during this transition time. So I think that's my lightning list. What I would invite everyone to do at this point in time, if you have a question, you can use either the chat function, or you could raise your hand, and a question, a comment, an observation, something you want us to be thinking about as we're moving forward. Open floor.
I have a question. This is Kent Moser.
Hi, Kent.
Real quick. I know they mentioned that they would like to make the hiring process better or easier.
Yes.
And if we have an adjunct faculty, maybe in, let's say, physics or somewhere else on campus, they're already in the adjunct pool approved, and we look and say, hey, this person has an MBA and has the background. Is there anything that would prevent us from just, hey, let's just hire them as an adjunct to maybe to teach a business class? Or do they have to go through the whole application interview process and everything, even though they're already in the adjunct teaching pool?
So this is, and I'm going to just say it like this. This is one of my pain points with the way the AP is written. Unless the AP has the flexibility to do that, unfortunately, right now, I think we are bound by the 4 corners of the AP. Going forward, we can certainly look at that. The one thing I always caution is that under Title V of the California Code of Regulations, we are required to recruit all positions both internally and externally. And so I just want to make sure that that we are complying with Title V, but at the same time giving ourselves some flexibility about how to consider hiring in the future through our APs. So I would say to that comment, one thing I would do for the HR perspective is go back and reread that. And then I would go back to Title V and see what flexibility there might be going forward within those two types of documents and parameters. But I think it's a great suggestion.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Kent. Yes, Carla.
Hi, good morning. This is actually another, oops, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Hi, good morning. I had a question. It's another HR question. So I've been hearing from some individuals trying to apply for adjunct positions, and there's been some, there's like the state qualifications are listed, but then within the posting, it has a different set of qualifications. So then in the system, in the online system, it won't let people move beyond, even though they fulfill the minimum qualifications. And this has been brought up a couple of times before, and it's in an area that is really in need. So I'm just curious, who can either I talk to, or I can send those couple of individuals to talk to about those issues?
So I'll say a couple of things, and it's an odd sense of timing. This morning, just so everybody had the most current iteration, in June 2022, the State Chancellor's Office updated the minimum qualifications handbook. At some point, hopefully we will have that posted on our website. We're trying to wait to redo portions of it until we can do many portions together. But those are going to set the minimum thresholds for all faculty disciplines within California community colleges. We do have the ability to add desired qualifications in our vacancy announcements. So I think, Carla, if you wouldn't mind, if you would connect with me directly, we can explore what's going on. And then maybe we can look at some of the specific postings that you have questions about, just so I can get a better sense of, is it the MQs, is it the desirable qualifications, or is it something that neither of those cover that maybe has come to people's attention that we need to look at?
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And
Diane.
if anybody wants the MQ handbook, just put it in the chat. And I always save that on my desktop and I'll send it to you.
Diane, go ahead. Thank you, Victoria.
Yeah, so good morning. So I don't have a question. I have a reach out of thank you. I want to recognize someone who has reached out to a non-traditional student couple and made a difference. So you may have heard the story, I'm not sure. Nancy Masters happened to connect with a Ukrainian man and wife yesterday. Their English was not very good. She used a translation document or profile on her phone, and she actually got these students who wanted to learn the English as second language course, got them connected, got them enrolled. She even took notebooks and pens and paper to their first class this morning at 8 o'clock. I mean, this is what we should believe in a caring campus. I mean, a 65-year-old couple, she told me today. So I want to reach out and say, thank you, Nancy. Great job. They just happened to walk into the administration building thinking this was the place to be. And I just think that's a great example of what we're trying to achieve in Caring Campus.
Thank you, Diane, and thank you, Nancy. That exactly is how we make our students feel welcome. And Jill, before we go with you, there's a couple of questions, one in the chat. So Victoria, you're going back on the hot seat. Is there a number of adjuncts in each department who have a guaranteed interview?
And forgive me, I had multiple screens on and I was trying to look very quickly. Unless it is in the AP, and I don't recall that being in there, and I don't recall it being in the collective bargaining agreement either. So absent both of those places referencing a minimum number of interviews, the answer is no. But I will say I don't have either document memorized. And so I will go back and do a double check just to be sure. But from what I recall, I would say no.
Thank you, Victoria. Jill?
So actually, this was kind of the dovetail on our Ukrainian folks. We have a Ukrainian faculty member. I saw Nancy's post, sent that to her, and she's like, let me meet them. I can help. We are going to be sending out, we've done this years ago, and it actually has stopped for COVID, and it was a great reminder of language interpreters on campus for anyone of a different language that can help with interpreting. So that someone that comes in and needs some guidance, we will have some folks on staff. We have a very diverse faculty in languages. And so we're going to be sending that out, and then we'll post that so that if we are in a position where we need to do that. So I don't know if Jane Bauer is on the call, but she responded. And again, that community, as long as we know and we communicate, we can do great things. So I'm hoping to get that email out to everybody for the languages.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Jane. Thank you to our EL. I know I was on a string of emails where people were discussing this, and someone asked, are we ready for the potential large group of people who might be coming to us? And my first thought was, we shouldn't wait for them to come to us. We need to, maybe Alejandro, get together with our EL department. How do we advertise to them that we are here for them, right? So those are, as these things happen, let's seize the moment and let's make sure that everyone is aware that we are indeed this community's college, and we are here to serve, and we are here to do so proactively. So thank you all. This is the stuff that just makes my heart beat happy. So I'm grateful for all of you and for all the work that you're doing. And I know I want to make just a couple of closing announcements, and then I'll give you back to your day. Yesterday was Dr. Jose Rivera's last day on our campus, and I know that there were several folks over the last couple of days who met with him and said fond goodbyes or adios or hasta luego, however, until later. He was wonderful. He did us a great service while he was here, became a good, fine colleague, and we will miss him. There is a brief period of time between yesterday and March 15th, where if you need any help in student services and beyond the deans, if there's something happening, I will be temporarily working with the deans to make sure that student services continues on and helping them with what they need. So just so everyone on the campus knows, we are not leaving student services to their own devices. On March 15th, we're super happy to announce that Idania Reyes, our brand new Vice President of Student Services, will be joining us. For those of you who are aware of administrators' contracts, it's kind of an ironical date for someone to be starting, but okay, we'll take it as a positive sign, right? So she's already been in touch. She and Jose have already been Zooming and meeting and phone calling, and she is eager to get here and serve. And I look forward to welcoming her when she arrives on the 15th. So thank you all. AVC is a fabulous place. We had the Antelope Valley School Board Association on campus last night for their monthly meeting, and we hosted them. Thank you to Shami and Greg, and who was the other driver? Shami, Greg?
Mark.
Yeah, Mark. Thank you to all of you. And what's that?
Ryan also was a driver. Yeah.
Ryan, thank you to all of you for being gracious hosts and taking them around. And Ron Benedetti, thank you for being the host with the most over in the Student Services building. Many folks commented on how impressed they are. One lady came up to me and said, I went to school here back in the day when the campus looked like a patchwork quilt. She said, I went to class in the pink building. So apparently there was a pink building and then other colored buildings. So she said, this makes me want to come back to school now. I said, please do. Anyway, this is making a huge difference for our community. And there's such great pride they're taking in the appearance of the campus. And what I keep telling folks is, if you think the campus look good, wait till you see the programming that we deliver as we really refine things and as we really make this a student friendly, even more than it already is. It clearly already is a student friendly place, but even as we go beyond what we're already doing, and you all are the ones who make that possible. I'm so privileged to serve alongside you. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Thank you.